Tyler was born early. He was born at 31 weeks of gestation, and he was born to a mom who had two little siblings, as well as she smoked. And that put him at risk for a disease called RSV. Tyler went home at 34 weeks gestation, and he went home with no oxygen, and he looked like a perfectly healthy newborn baby. Unfortunately, because of the risk factors, he did contract a disease called respiratory syncytial virus. And that virus attacked his lungs, and he had to go back into the hospital. When he went back into the hospital, he stayed for about a month at that time, went home with oxygen because the virus had damaged his lungs some. And when he went home, he got RSV again. And when he got RSV the second time, it really attacked his lungs, and he ended up staying in the hospital for a year and a half. He was on a ventilator. He ended up needing a tracheostomy tube, multiple chest tubes. I think at the last count there was like 28 chest tubes. He ended up having to go to the University of Michigan for cardiac surgery, and they had to put him on like it's called ECMO. It's kind of like a heart-lung bypass machine for about a month to help his lungs heal. They didn't think that that worked, and they sent him back to Mercy Children's and said that he probably would not see his first birthday. It was a scary time for his family, and they were young, and they couldn't take care of all of his needs. And so when it was time for him to go home, they weren't ready, and he ended up going into foster care. In the foster care system, it was very difficult for him because his needs were so dramatic. He was still on a ventilator at that time, had a tracheostomy tube and a G tube, and they couldn't find really a foster home that could service all those needs. So he ended up going to a medically fragile daycare during the day, and then I and my husband and another respiratory therapist that I worked with in our office fostered him in the evening. When it came time for his family to come back together, they still were not ready to take care of all of his needs, and so he ended up coming to our home, and we adopted him when he was about 4. At that point, he had gotten rid of his ventilator, but still has his tracheostomy, and he still had his G-tube, so he had to fight through for about another year, year and a half, learning how to eat on his own, learning how to walk and talk. He was really cute when he was little. He had this really big head that kind of went before the rest of his little body did, and he was always falling over and running into trees and those kinds of things. But he made it past that first birthday, and he started to grow and thrive.
They said that he would probably never talk too.
Yeah, he wasn't talking yet. They said that he would probably never walk or talk, or learn to read or write. But we got him into a really good school system, Swanton School Systems, and there's been so many people that have taken such great pains in making sure that he had just what he needed when he needed it. Many of those things happened in that first year and a half of life. Simple things like the nurses wanted to be able to get him out of his ICU room, so the maintenance department went to the foundation, which Mercy gets their money from the foundation to do these kinds of things. They went to the foundation, and they bought a red Flyer wagon and retrofitted it to fit his oxygen tanks so that we could take him out into the regular nursing station. He was still on the ventilator at that time, so the vent sat behind him, and he sat in a little high chair, and we pulled him around to the different units. And he learned different things from different units that he was on. Like one of the night unit clerks always liked to dance, and I think that's why he likes to dance, is because she taught him how to dance when he was little. And one of the pastoral care people would come up in the evening and sit with him and work with him on learning how to eat. All of those extra time and those extra devices that he needed came from extra money that was made by people like you who go out and volunteer to dance, and raise money for these kids. So that, those little extra things really are the things that have made the quality of his life better. The dancing, the music. The other thing that the foundation really helped us with was when he was just starting to learn to walk, he had a lot of problems with balance, and the therapist felt that if we could use music therapy, that it would help, but it took a special set of earphones and a special cassette, and it cost a lot of money. Again, we went to the foundation, and we got money to buy those things for him, and it helped immensely. As he got older, after he had learned to walk, he started to have problems with balance again. Sometimes his head would grow before the rest of his body, and so it would throw him off balance. And one of the things the therapist suggested was hippotherapy or horse therapy. And again, that's a thing that the foundation has helped with, setting up the hippotherapy at Mercy Children's. And he went into hippotherapy. Not only did it help him with his walking, but it also helped him learn how to talk better. It was amazing the difference that it made in just the short 6 weeks that he had that therapy. So all of the money that you're raising today helps with those special things that improves, again, the quality of life. I'm a nurse at Mercy Children's. We have used foundation money to help in research in things like hippotherapy, and currently we're looking at things like where children live and how the disease process affect their life where they live. Foundation has helped with a lot of research. And so all the money that you're dancing for, that you're doing, is helping children each and every day. So keep up the good work.